Jeff Daniels, the acclaimed actor, has managed to piss off MAGA by going on MSNBC yesterday and dropping an absolute truth bomb on Trump.
Office of the presidency, which is different than a monarchy.
Daniels has a knack for pissing off MAGA, both in real life and on TV, funny enough.
America is not the greatest country in the world anymore.
Yeah, back when that aired in 2012, people weren't too happy at the notion that America wasn't a great nation. But only 4 years later, we got Trump, so you guys tell me how that worked out. Daniel's appearance yesterday was something special, not only telling it like it is, but also giving us a performance that sent MAGA into complete meltdown mode. I'll show you guys some of those replies after we check out the song. Be sure to subscribe to Really American, and let's just jump right into it.
I would like to think that things like decency and civility and respect for the rule of law and respect for things that are bigger than you, including the office of the presidency, which is different than a monarchy, will matter. First, it will be about the economy. It always is. Carville was right. It just is. And that's okay. But I think then people will start to go, well, maybe it wasn't worth it. And by the way, do we really have to treat people like that? You know, the meme that he had where he was flying with the crown and the, you know, spewing excrement all over the people down below.
The country, America.
Yeah, he tried it. Would Lincoln have done that?
I don't think Nixon would have done that.
Nixon wouldn't have done it. You know, Reagan wouldn't have done it. Bush wouldn't have done it. Either Bush. You know, it just, you know, I think people in the Midwest, where I am, still have this, we value our decency and our civility and you know, we don't get taken with whatever goes on the coast. You know, we got a chip on our shoulder about that. This is a song I wrote called Crazy World, which is how I cope.
Okay, let's hear it.
I've seen a young girl smiling at something he just said. I watched him fall into her pretty green eyes. His cheeks turned Valentine red. I've seen an old man walking with his wife by his side. I watched him reach down, take her hand. Damned if I didn't cry. This crazy world's gone crazy. Who am I to judge? It's nice to know in a world full of hate, there's someone out there still making love. I've seen a dog's tail wagging. I've seen a grandchild run. I've sung along to a day breaking dawn and 100,000 setting suns. I've seen a door held open. I've seen strangers shaking hands. I've seen a kiss from that old flame she missed last a little longer than planned. This crazy world's gone crazy. Who am I to judge? It's nice to know in a world full of hate, there's someone out there still making love. I've seen a prayer get answered. I've seen a bride in June. I'm proud to say I've seen the Milky Way winking at the man in the moon. I've seen a dozen roses. I've seen a heart on a sleeve. I've seen enough to know what I know what I still believe. This crazy world's gone crazy. Who am I to judge? It's nice to know in a world full of hate, there's someone out there There's someone out there. There's someone out there.
We needed that. We all needed that. Never get any reaction from the crew. That's awesome.
Now that song was undeniably great, and MAGA is trying so hard not to act upset by this. In the replies, this proud Republican pro-life mother of three said, "What the fuck? This loser was in Dumb and Dumber and he can't appreciate a fucking joke. The left sucks." So ironic for the Republicans to start talking about jokes after literally trying to get people arrested for making jokes about Charlie Kirk. When athletes, entertainers tell me their political viewpoints, you are a toy. Right, like when Joe Rogan was glazing Trump like a Krispy Kreme donut, the right was so upset with him, telling him to shut up and punch. So glad we know the opinions of American political leaders like Squints, Robert De Niro, and Jeff Daniels. It is so hilarious to say that we don't care about the opinions of actors when they keep electing a literal actor who was a TV snake oil salesman.
You're fired. You're fired. 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 You're fired.
Daniels has proven that he has a way with words and a guitar, and he's got Trump absolutely nailed on the head.
We've lost decency. We've lost civility. We've lost respect for the rule of law. Lost it. We have normalized verbal abuse on the internet. We've normalized bullying, much as the woke generation tried to, change that. It's back. And out the window goes character, integrity. I mean, nobody has great things to say about politicians. They never have. Go back to Mark Twain. But ideally, we're supposed to elect the best of us, not the worst of us. He's everything that's wrong with not just America, but with being a human being.
Trump is an indecent, uncivil criminal who is only concerned with enriching himself. And his corruption is so brazen, so out in the open, so undeniable that he's being asked about it directly in the White House.
Because the New York Times is reporting that your legal team is seeking $230 million from your own Justice Department now in response to the investigations into you. Is that something you want your legal team to do?
I don't know what the numbers are. I don't even talk to them about it. All I know is that they would owe me a lot of money, but I'm not looking for money. I'd give it to charity or something. I would give it to charity, any money. But look, what they did, they rigged the election. And as you know, we had, in one case, 60 Minutes had to pay us a lot of money. George Slobodanopoulos had to pay us a lot of money. And they already paid. They paid me a lot of money because what they did was wrong. And, when somebody does what's wrong. Now, with the country, it's interesting because I'm the one that makes the decision, right? And, that decision would have to go across my desk. And it's awfully strange to make a decision where I'm paying myself. In other words, did you ever have one of those cases where you have to decide how much you're paying yourself in damages? But I was damaged very greatly. And any money that I would get, I would give to charity.
You heard that right, folks. $230 million. Trump's personal legal team is asking for $250 million of taxpayer money to pay Trump in damages. He's also openly admitting that they're working behind the scenes to rig the election 3 years before it even happens, so that 2020 never happens again.
I think it's got to be handled in a proper way. If it's not handled in a proper way, we don't want it to happen again. We can never let what happened in the 2020 election happen again. We just can't let that happen. And so the way we go, I know Cash is working on it, everybody's working on it, and certainly Tulsi's working on it. We can't let that happen again to our country. Look at what's happened where you have millions of people being allowed to come into our country, all because of a crooked election.
Now, what exactly is Tulsi and Cash working on in the background to prevent 2020 from happening again? You know, 2020, the legitimate election which Trump lost and then complained about for the next 5 years. And the idiot fruit doesn't fall far from the moron tree, because here's his first fail son, Don Jr., trying to pretend that his dad didn't stage a coup in 2020.
Someone, by the way, who, if he was a king, probably would just reopen the government, but it hasn't worked that way. If he was a king, he probably would have never left the office the first time. If he was a king, he wouldn't allow his government to prosecute and persecute him.
What is going on in MAGA land? What kind of coke is Don Jr. snorting, where he just forgot that his father literally tried to stop the certification of a legitimate election? I think we would be wise to heed Jeff Daniels' warning here. Trump is everything that this country was supposed to be against, and chances are, when January 6th, 2029 rolls around, Trump is going to unleash whatever Tulsi Gabbard and Kash Patel have been working on. If anyone at this point thinks that Trump is planning on leaving office after 2028, they either have as many brain cells as Don Jr., or they're as desperate for Trump's love and attention as he is. Be sure to subscribe to Really American. I'm Tony Hinderman, and I'll catch you next time.